What's up? Love you much, love you much. Let's get on in here and talk about Tom Homan. This man is no joke. And if you don't know who Tom Homan is, then you must have been hibernating for the past month. Because he was one of President Trump's first picks when it came down to his cabinet picks. So if you don't know who Tom Homan is, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know where you've been. This man is playing absolutely no games. Just in case you have been off of the web, off of the TV, maybe you've been somewhere in a cabin with no Wi-Fi connection. Let me just introduce you to who Tom Homan is. Let's take a look.
And I'm sending a message where people said they're going to get in our way. They're going to stop us from doing what we're doing on the interior enforcement operation. I've said it 100 times in the last week. Don't cross that line. It's a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. Don't test us.
This man is so focused on his assignment, and he's so pumped about it, and he's so assured about it, and it's going faster in his mind than he can verbally get out, because a lot of his words are mumbling. This man right here, you could just tell by his demeanor that he's out here to play no games. And I hate it for him. I hate it for the illegal immigrants. I hate it for the immigrants who came over here the wrong way, because I've seen this, or I've heard and seen about this type of man. He is very militant. He has America, and especially the old America, in his eyes and in his heart, and anything outside of his America, it's over for him. It's over for him. He did not come here to play. And the reason why I have mentioned that I have seen this before and I've heard it before, because this is how it was not that long ago in America when it was just black and white. So I've seen this type of militant. I've seen this type of person before. I've heard about this and people like him in history books. I've heard about people like him from my grandparents and my great-grandparents. I've heard about this type. So he is not here to play with these people. Now, on this particular instance, I believe that he is going to do the job. I believe that it's going to get heavy out here. But he is determined to do what he is set out to do. Only thing he needed was a green light. And he's ready to go. So I would advise people, and I know that some people come from some hellacious areas and atmospheres and worlds. I get it. But these people are not this United States of America administration. They're not here to play with you. Why? Because too many Americans, those who have put in equity, those who have built, those who have invested, those who have cultural lineage here, it's over. It's over. He's not playing. Let's hear what else has been going on when it comes down to this cabinet pick, Tom Homan. This particular video that I'm getting ready to show, as you can see, the date is stamped for July the 12th. And I don't know why I like to say "the" in front of my dates, but July 12th, 2019. This was at a committee where Tom Homan, who is a retired agent now, he's done this before. He said that he has been with many a president, I believe about since Reagan, if I'm not mistaken. So he's been with many administrations, and he has his opinions about the many administrations, but he is very verbal when it comes down to what President Biden has done to the border crisis. So this particular hearing involved both Tom Homan and AOC, and we all know that she is doing any means necessary to make it to the top and to make our America her vision of her America. Anyway, let's take a listen.
I believe that everyone is operating in good faith, and I just want us to be very careful with that. With that, Ms. Ocasio-Cortez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Earlier, my colleague from Maryland, Mr. Raskin, asked the panel how many people here believe that child separation is an effective policy in deterrence, and no one on the panel raised their hand. I just wanted to note that for the record, Mr. Chair. I wanted to ask a question from Professor Mukherjee. Is the United States violating or violated human rights agreements set by the United Nations in a family separation policy?
Yes. International law is clear that family unity should be prioritized.
So we, as members of the United Nations, signed on into an international human rights agreement saying very clearly that family separation is a violation of international human rights, and then we pursued a policy that violates human rights. Mr. Chair, I was looking, how did we get to this point? How did we get to this point where we take children out of mothers' and fathers' arms? And, it dated back, family separation, the way that we have seen it, where we take children away from their parents without due process, began last year under Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen, but I had to dig further. And our staff dug further. But where did this start within the administration? She implemented it. And we found a memo. Dates back to April 23rd of 2018, where there was an official recommendation to, quote, pursue prosecution of all amenable adults who cross our border, quote, illegally, even though this applied to legal asylum seekers in practice, including those presenting with a family unit between ports of entry in coordination with DOJ. Here is the memo that I would like to submit to the congressional record.
What is the date on that?
It is the memo.
Now, I wanted to pause it for a second because she said a mouthful. And the answer that Tom Homan is going to give her sent chills down my body. And just in case you haven't heard it yet, I'm going to continue to let it play. But you will feel the chills, or you should feel the chills, when he says what he's getting ready to say. So let's continue.
Memorandum for the Secretary from Homeland Security.
Date.
April 23rd, 2018, subject increasing prosecutions of immigration violations.
Without objection.
And so I looked at this memo and it seems like this is the source of it. And it seems as though, Mr. Homan, that you are the author. It says here from yourself, Kevin Mikalinen, and Francis Cisna. Is this correct? Did you sign the memo?
I'd have to see what you...
Give it
I'd be happy to provide it. And we'll provide it over, but I would like to note that here it says the official recommendation. There were 3 different options presented. The third included the option for family separation. This initiative would pursue prosecution of all amenable adults, including those presenting with a family unit. Mr. Homan, your name is on this. Is this correct?
Yes, I signed that memo.
So you are the author of the family separation policy?
I am not.
He is not nervous. He just has that. He has that. I don't know the word. He just has that air about himself that he's ready. He has a law, or he has a statute, or he has evidence and a support system with whatever it is that they're trying to present to him. He just has that aura about himself. Let's continue.
I'm not the author of this memo.
You're not the author, but you signed the memo.
Yes, a zero tolerance memo.
So you provided the official recommendation to Secretary Nielsen on family for the United States to pursue family separation.
I gave Secretary Nielsen numerous recommendations on how to secure the border and save lives.
But it says here that you gave her numerous options, but the recommendation was option 3, family separation.
What I'm saying, this is not the only paper where we've given the Secretary numerous options to secure the border and save lives.
And so the recommendation, of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Let's replay that because y'all didn't hear that, right? Because he has so much going through his mind, he can't get it out fast enough through his mouth. I have that problem sometimes. But let's rewind it just a little bit.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
He said it's the same way as when an American citizen gets arrested and is separated from their children. Oh, y'all, that should have sent chills. Y'all don't have chills? Y'all don't have chills? especially Black America. That didn't give you chills? That didn't send nothing down your spine? As many of our children has had to grow up without fathers in the home, a lot of times it is due to non-violent crimes, and they are sent away paying these private institutions and prisons per day, per capita, the state. Everybody's getting paid off of the father being out of the home. And if that's not family separation, I don't know what is. This country was actually built on family separation. Okay, so now you all who are coming over illegally, you know the risk. This is a risk. But AOC, she wants it to be open. She wants to get those numbers up, and they are working on it. These Latino families, they come over and they do what we used to do. What we used to do, they come over and they have babies. They not only anchored, they are anchorly secured, because they have babies, and their numbers, it's not going to take them long, those numbers, to increase and to double and to triple. And where you have numbers, you have power. You get more authority. And that's the goal. That's the plan. I love everybody. I do. But I have to take care of home first. Lastly, and I'll probably continue to talk about this topic more and more, because there's a lot of things that are coming out when it comes down to the plans for deportation. It's something that I am definitely keeping my eyes and my ears open to. But as you know, this particular show called The View, they are very, very opinionated women. They have a lot to say. They lead with emotions. They don't think or speak rationally. And Whoopi Goldberg, that was my girl. She's still my girl. I just think she's lost. I just think she's lost. You know, Hollywood and that type of society can change who you are. We see it every day as everyday people. Sometimes you lose touch with the grassroots from which you came. But I really did admire Whoopi, but she has really said some things and done some things that she needs to go back and rethink basically everything. However, they're very in support of immigrations. They just think everybody's just supposed to come over and we hold hands and we are the one, we are the children. That's how they want. And it's just not, that's not realistic. So, of course, I don't know all of their names. I just pretty much know Whoopi and Sunny because she has a big mouth. But the other Latino woman on here, she has a lot to say about this. So let's take a listen and then we'll sum this particular video up.
Now, the former head of ICE, Tom Homan, has just been picked as border czar for the upcoming administration, and he recently went on 60 Minutes to justify the price that migrants and Americans will pay for his plan. Take a look.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together. I don't care what anybody's opinion is on illegal immigration. When you create a crisis this big, all these other bad things happen. That's why we have to secure the border. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or independent. Border security is national security.
So perhaps that means that they will go back to the plan that was that both the Republicans and the Democrats were going to do at the border and was stopped by you know who. So maybe that's in his mind that there is something to do there.
You realize, I mean, it's chilling what he just said. You realize that.
And again, if we're going to tell the truth, this is what I don't like. If you're going to say something, please tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Both the parts you like and the parts you don't like. Give people the full scope if you're going to make a comment like that. The reason why that bill was not signed by Republicans is because, and I did a video on this a few months ago talking about illegal immigrants and how I didn't believe, and I still don't believe, that a lot of them will be deported. I believe that there will be an extensive push. I believe they will get a large number of them, but I do not believe that they'll be able to get everybody. However, they wanted to have in that bill where they continue to fund the war in Ukraine. They wanted to continue to give out money to these other causes in these other countries. That's what they wanted to do. That was included in the bill, as well as letting about 1.8 million migrants in the country per year. That's what was in the bill that they wanted both sides to compromise on. That still would not have done us any good. Let's continue.
When he says, yes, families can be deported together, what he is saying is that U.S. citizens can be deported. What he is saying is, if the parent is undocumented and they have U.S. citizen children or U.S. citizen spouse, or and you don't want to separate them, then let's deport the U.S. citizens. Look, Donald Trump won the electoral vote. He won. He's going to win the House. He won the Senate. For all effects and purposes, he's got the Supreme Court. They've given him immunity. This is what the country voted for. This is, a lot of people thought that when he talked about mass deportations, he wasn't being serious. I don't know how many times he had to say it for people to realize he was being serious. Well, if you thought he wasn't being serious.
Oh, we knew he was being serious. America knew Trump wasn't playing no games because we have experienced him before. We knew he was serious. That's why he not only got the electoral votes, he got the popular votes too. Oh, yes, he did, because he made these promises. So we knew exactly what we wanted. We took it very seriously. And that's why it's a big issue. This 14th Amendment, which was specifically, again, had everything to do with my ancestors. The way that these people are coming over illegally, having children to secure them in this country, they were already breaking the law. Why should citizenship automatically be given to anyone? You don't know the culture. You just want to get in where you fit in, and that's not cool. That takes away from people who have invested generations or the inception of the United States. Tom Homan, he's not playing. I can tell it in his eyes. I can tell it by the way he moves, even the way he speaks, and his whole demeanor. He's not playing. I hate that he's going to have to come after people to make our country safe, to make it more effective for Americans, to get it to what it once was, not that long ago. But the only thing about it is, there has been a major distraction. You don't hear about black crime and things of that nature anymore. No, because they got a new target. They got a new focus. They got something to do other than to bother with Black Americans, especially Black male Americans, FBA, Foundational Black Americans. Anyway, let me know what you think. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you pro or against deportation. And I will see you in the next video. May the Most High bless.